The Hopak is the national dance of Ukraine. It was first performed in the 16th century by Cossacks from the Zaporizhian Sich as a ritual dance to celebrate the victorious return from battle. Its movements, color, and vigor make it recognizable around the world, even if the audience doesn't know it by name. What an international audience might not know is that the dance was later codified into Ukraine's first national martial art, combat Hopak. I believe that combat Hopak will revive chivalry in Ukraine. To me, combat Hopak is traditional values, strength of our mind, health of our body. Combat Hopak is the opportunity to change your life for the better in every way. Combat Hopak is gaining popularity in different Ukrainian cities, and even outside of Ukraine. I think it's because guys are interested in their native martial arts, culture, and history. And you can learn all of that through combat Hopak. For us, in Ukraine, they used to call any kind of punch a hoop, and they'd call a kick a hop. So, since the dance has a lot more leg movement, that's why, strictly speaking, it's called Hopak. The martial art aspect actually came first. If we watch and observe the performance of any professional dance group that features Hopak dancing, we can see dozens or even hundreds of fighting elements. There's a, well, very plausible legend, even a story, that the strongest, wisest, and smartest Cossack характерниks encoded their Cossack martial art in the dance. A Cossack характерник was a one-man army. He could heal, he was educated, he was a martial arts master, he knew many foreign languages. I don't even know who you could compare that kind of person to in modern times. I was recently studying the historical aspect of this question, and I stumbled onto the works of a rather famous Frenchman who, traveling through our lands, spent time in the Zaporizhian Sich. He shared his impressions and observations. He was very surprised and wrote, "They spend whole days dancing and singing. How can the most powerful army in the world stay in such amazing shape while just dancing and singing songs?" Combat Hopak is a coherent, harmonious education system for a new generation of Ukrainians. When I was in school, I studied wushu, and then a little karate, and most recently, I tried kung fu, a Ukrainian martial art that existed and was used by the Cossacks. After all, it's ours, it's Ukrainian. I got tired of others. Slowly, I began to get rid of the Ukrainian inferiority complex. It's a Cossack martial arts school. It was registered in 1985. That is to say, it's already existed for more than 30 years. Philosophy is the most important thing in Hopak, because some kind of fight, the swinging fists, there's no purpose for it. But in Hopak, there's a clear philosophy. What is all this for? Most of all, you gain strength so that you can later protect those who are weaker than you, to preserve peace, preserve the culture of your people, your country. Above all, it's the love and respect of your motherland. It's the respect of your native language, of your native culture, of your people, of your customs. The second commandment of our Hopak philosophy is the continual physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual development. Then we get to our third philosophical law. the support and promotion of the things, the factors that contribute to the development of a person, society, people, and humanity.
Розвитку людини, суспільства, народу, людства.
Hopak is, in some ways, similar to other martial arts, and in some places you can find differences. It depends on how you perceive and interpret. If you see it as fighting, then yes, every fight is similar to another. But if you look at different technical aspects, stances, moves, combinations, then you can say unequivocally and confidently that Hopak differs from other martial arts. There's the opinion that Kung Fu could be based on Hopak or vice versa. It's currently being researched. I heard a story about how one Kung Fu master was very impressed when he saw Hopak dance, even before delving into the philosophy of the martial art. At first, when kids come to us for martial arts lessons, we call them Novaks. They don't reach the first level until they complete 12 tasks. They can complete tasks twice a year. Then they become Zhovtyaks. That's the first level of proficiency, which is equivalent to a black belt in karate. The second level of proficiency is Sokyil. That's more about jumping techniques, such as Roznoshka, Shupak, and more difficult elements. Then there's Yastrub, and later Jura, which is a Cossack's assistant. These 4 levels of proficiency are still considered student levels. Then there are more difficult master levels. Those are Cossack, Harakternik, and Volkh. There are 7 levels of proficiency in combat Hopak. I'm currently at Zhovtyak. It's the second level, the one after Novak. Novak is someone who's just started combat Hopak and can't do anything, doesn't know anything. And Zhovtyak is a person who knows the basics of the combat elements and can use them. To advance from one level of proficiency to the next, in combat Hopak, you need to master the knowledge required by the next level to perfection. It's not as simple as it might seem at first glance, because the exam can last more than 5 hours. You need to continuously wave hands and feet for 5 hours, and not everyone can endure physically. That's why the Cossacks were an unbeatable army. I just started studying Hopak. At this stage, an accent is put on, in short, work with the body. You need to prepare the body from movement to feeling, from feeling to thoughts, and beyond. I'll gradually go through those stages. The most difficult part of any session is getting yourself ready and going. It's the most difficult stage, then everything goes according to plan and you get satisfaction. After a session, it's just a fantastic feeling. Your body is weightless, your mind is calm, there aren't any superfluous thoughts or worries. Combat Hopak has competitions in 5 disciplines. 3 disciplines are demonstrative and 2 are contact. The first discipline is the most simple. It's called Adnotan. It's a pre-planned, thought-out, and recorded fight with 1 or more imaginary opponents, where the fighter must show the technical skills of combat Hopak at a certain level of proficiency. The second kind of competition is Tan Dvobi. It's almost the same as Adnotan, only with 2 fighters demonstrating a previously thought out and recorded fight. The third type of competition is called Zabava. For me, it's the most difficult type of competition because touching your opponent is forbidden. You can only show your strikes and stop the attack, whether it's with the fist or foot, within 3 to 5 centimeters of the target. It's the hardest type of competition because it requires concrete self-control. The fourth type of competition is called Bornya. It's light contact. You can hit with fists or feet, but a short series of strikes is preferred. The fifth type of competition, the most simple and most entertaining, is called Hertz. It's full contact, and in some version of Hertz, full contact is allowed, and in some versions, a throwing technique is allowed. What happens in the gym doesn't look like competitions. It's as if you can do everything, know everything, as if you can use everything. And when you go into the ring, you realize that you need to work more and work on yourself. Competitions are mostly fought in sharovari pants because, from a practical standpoint, it's a comfortable clothing. It has certain technical advantages. For the Cossacks, sharovari pants were particularly important. Only Cossacks could use sabers and weapons. Only men who were in the order of knights, the Cossacks. The rest, the beginner orders, Zhovtyak, Sokil, Yastrub, Zhora, they didn't have the right to even touch a weapon. They could be severely punished for their disobedience. Only a warrior could own a weapon, and they still needed to become a real warrior.
А воїном ще треба стати. Перша експериментальна школа бойового Гопака була заснована.
The first experimental school of combat Hopak was founded in Lviv by Volodymyr Stepanovich Pilat in 1985. Now, after 31 years of development, we have similar schools in almost every region of Ukraine. We had people in Ukraine and in Canada. Poland got together with the Canadians. Now in Warsaw, a few of our trainers are teaching, and we added Slovakia and Germany. We have a school of combat Hopak in Berlin, as well as in the United States of America. We have a school in Chicago. That's international recognition. Our Cossack martial art is developing in a lot of the world's countries.
Міжнародне визнання є, і наше славне козацьке бойове мистецтво розвивається в багатьох країнах світу.
It's always nice when people abroad know about and say nice things about your country. I think a lot of the people who are taking part are immigrants from Ukraine. For them, it's a kind of comfort, a kind of moral support. I think it's really cool that there are schools and branches abroad.
Думаю, що це дуже круто, що є за кордоном осередки.